Yeah, everybody straighten up. Everybody gets all tense, so we'll do that. So a couple of things, man. We're gonna open up the conversation a little bit with kind of a warm up question. You guys good for a warm up question today?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
sir.
because Carlisle joined, and happy birthday, Carlisle. I
Thank you,
just want
sir.
to make sure I ask now that LeBron has the scoring title, who's the GOAT?
Bill Russell.
Mm,
That's a great answer.
yeah, it's a decent answer. He's good. I like Bill Russell. Anybody else want to chime in since Carlisle's obviously been hitting the head with a lunchbox? He's out here lunching. He's MJ
is the GOAT
all day, right?
all day, every day.
Ty, where are you on this one, man?
I think I'll give MJ the nod. I give it MJ the nod.
Ooh,
Six,
B Hall, where you at, man?
Well, before yesterday, I'd say MJ all day, but LeBron's making a strong case.
Okay.
By his longevity.
Yeah, he's been playing a long time. He's definitely
longevity is giving him opportunities to do things that no one else has done in that combination. So MJ, there's never going to be another Michael Jordan, period. And he was personification of greatness. But LeBron's also doing a lot of really interesting things off the court. That kind of makes a holistic story of his greatness. Whether he's doing that for greatness or he's doing it regardless. So
yeah, I like the way you changed the topic a little bit. That's cool. All right. Thanks, B Hall. Ant, where you at on this, man? Come on now. Did I lose Ant? I thought so.
Overall, I love what faux pas. I mean, the worst thing he did was announce he was going to a different team on a TV show, raising money for Boys and Girls Club. So I mean,
he did let his mom get with Delonte West. So no, go ahead.
Well, he ain't had nothing to do with that. He ain't had nothing to do with that. He ain't had nothing to do with that. That's strictly hearsay, first of all.
Not hearsay.
So yeah, he ain't gonna come on the record, and I don't think nobody on the record who knows about that can say anything about it. But seriously, though, I mean, he's been great, but man, he ain't MJ, right? I mean, we watched MJ just destroy dudes' hearts for like years and years and years. Just like that's tough to. The LeBron skill set is great, but I mean, he don't destroy cats. not really. I mean, even though you think physically he could, but you don't ever expect LeBron don't get in the game like the game last night where he like once set the record, which I mean didn't win the game. MJ would have never lost that damn game. He'd been like, "No, we're gonna win the record." But not only am I gonna get the record, I'm gonna win the game, and you all are all gonna try. I'm gonna talk trash the whole time. You won't be able to do shit about it. I mean, that's tough. That's tough to get around.
You're making a great case, man. I don't know if Carlisle's convinced yet because I don't think he likes MJ because of him dunking on all the Knicks every time he got a chance to. I think that's what it is.
I like MJ. I I think Kareem gets overlooked a little bit because they changed the rules for that cat. I mean, he's just so damn dominant. We didn't really see him at his athletic peak. We didn't physically lay eyes on him at his peak, but
Right.
I mean, at his athletic peak, I mean, he was doing Jordan type shit. I mean, I'm just like, really? I'm like, they had to change the rules for the dude. So I'm like that.
So you couldn't dunk because he could dunk, right? They stopped dunking. They made dunking
We had to
illegal.
stop dunking because otherwise nobody can stop Kareem at all. Like, fine, you want me to dunk? I'll just do this skyhook on you all day. Stop that. I mean, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
so why
yeah.
exactly? I apologize, Ant. Why exactly is Bill Russell not in the conversation? Though? I mean, when you say Bill Russell,
I think Bill suffers like the Kareem thing. It's like I didn't see, but I'm only seeing Bill Russell highlights a little bit, not even much, because the highlights are grainy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, from what he did, man, I'm like, I mean,
He
it was
played
like,
with Famers too.
I mean,
he
I mean,
played several Hall of Famers. So he always had a good team around him. Bill Russell, he was always part of a really good team and probably one of the best coaches ever.
I mean, I would say it's probably mostly Bill Russell because I mean, dude won championships at college, all the championships in the pros. I mean, nobody beat him, so I mean, he's definitely in the conversation for sure.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah, he's definitely like you can't talk about the history of the NBA without Bill Russell, Kareem, and Jordan. So I mean, those are the guys. LeBron is going to put himself as a part of that. I mean, he's won the championship with 3 different teams. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
And the longevity is impressive. So I mean, he's in the conversation. I mean, he's got himself there.
I think he's a lot closer. I think he's a lot closer. To kind of pushing himself. I mean, at each year, as he's putting up these numbers and maintaining his competitiveness, and yeah, he's definitely pushing himself up the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely up there, Todd. So,
Yeah.
Todd, one thing I trip on about LeBron is I forget how old he is.
Right.
He don't really play like an old dude.
No, he doesn't.
I remember Dominique Wilkins out there looking like a damn slow ass center.
Right. He said something interesting last night. He said, because usually, so what he said, yeah, somebody, I think Shaq might have asked him, somebody, like, yeah, I think I could play, at least like 2-3 more years. Physically, I take care of my body. I'm good. I think I'm good physically. It's just the mental drain, the mental toll that that I got to consider, over those 2 or 3 years. Usually other people are just the opposite, right? It's like your mind thinks that you can do. Body is saying like, no. So, it was just really a really interesting spin that he, because he just takes care of his body like that. And what is that? He in LeBron the one like he spends $1 million on keeping his body right per year or per month. I don't know.
I think it's more than that. Yeah, I think it's more than $1 million a year. But let me ask y'all a question. Since it made me think about LeBron and the mental aspect. Like I feel like nobody was as competitive as MJ, right? In the just competing, right? He's a little crazy when it comes to competitiveness. But it seems to me like even like in football, I thought dudes were way more competitive back in the day. Like I feel like watching sports today, like dudes don't seem to really like just go all out for the win like they used to. It just don't seem to be that competitive spirit anymore. Like I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I just missing it, or just it just seems
Well,
like people don't
don't
go at it.
No, I think they do go at it, but they know. See, players are making a whole lot more money these days than they were 10, 15, 20 years ago. So they realize that their body is an investment. And so they're like, basketball players like, yeah, I need some rest. I'm only gonna play 70 out of the 82 games. Football players, baseball players, whatever. Yeah, that's why they play flag football the other day. Right. Whereas 10, 15, 20 years ago, back in the day, man, they were going all out in that Pro Bowl. So, I think it goes a little towards that. I think they go, game time, the game is on the line, they go all out. But at the same time, they kind of pull back on the reins a little bit when they want to or when they need to.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just the quality of the product isn't quite as good. I don't know. I know football is the quality isn't as good because they don't practice as much. They can't hit, and obviously dudes can't be killing themselves. So I get it. But I don't know. I mean, I just think back on fondness to just watching dudes gut it out, just doing whatever they had to do to win, and I don't know, it just seemed more competitive and more edgy, just more more intensity to it, maybe. And maybe that's what I'm not describing.
Touch the quarter, back in the day, it was everybody was dead on sight, no matter what. But now, you can't really touch the quarterback, and receivers are defenseless, and blah 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 blah. So,
And again, it goes towards like, all right, you players are investments, and the owners don't want to see their investments get hurt. So yeah, we got to change the rules. Basketball, same way. That's now we've got these flagrant fouls. Back in the day, they were just regular fouls if they called a foul at all.
No calls. Good calls.
No calls, right? Mm-hmm. Bloody nose, no call.
That's right. Just give them something, wipe them up. You'd be all right.
Right. So, it's like that across the board, except for hockey. Hockey is doing their own thing in hockey, man. It's a whole different level.
Yeah, it's a good assessment. I think the entertainment side is what makes you start digging into what is it that entertains you. And I know coming up, there's probably more. I know growing up, you felt like, man, I can relate to somebody going all out for something. But now that we're a little older, we're like, oh, yeah, you got to take a time out, man. You can't go at this pace forever, because when somebody like isn't ready to perform, we tend to put more on the player than the scenario they're in. But it's interesting. I know, even though I don't say LeBron is the GOAT, for instance, I did find myself looking for him to break the record because I didn't think it would be broken in our lifetime, honestly. Yeah, we've had a black president before that was broken. That was crazy. I didn't think either of those were likely in our lifetime. So that's the crazy part for me. Yeah. So another off-topic question, because it's going to come back to what we're talking about here for a few minutes tonight. But when the song Scenario comes on, what comes to mind for you guys?
Wow. I'll say when we were on stage. It just takes us back. It takes me back to when we were on stage and we did that whole. I think it was the non-talent show. It was like the non-talent show. It was like, all right, what we gonna do? We're gonna do something. Okay, yeah, let's do Scenario. Like, who knows? Okay, Chip. All right, Chip gonna lead us, and then we all just kind of join in. And everybody loved it, man. Everybody was feeling the energy, in the engineering auditorium. And it just, like, almost every time I hear it, it just kind of takes me back to that. And then also, I think it takes me back to more recently when all y'all was at my house here. And David Bowman was here, and then all kind of down in the theater room, and it kind of played it, and we was all getting it, man. So it just kind of takes me back to those moments right there, man. Just the brotherhood, just kind of emphasizes the brotherhood that we have, and just the camaraderie and the love that we got for each other, man. You know.
I like
So
that, Todd.
now I'm flashing back to, so it was the No Talent, the Mr. School of Engineering show contest. What I'm flashing back to.
Mm.
Chip won that puppy.
Just another day in
Just another
engineering.
day. Yeah.
We all. I didn't want to do it, but y'all were like, we all got to do this. I'm like,
I didn't necessarily want to do it either.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I don't know, because I had a rap. I had a whole rap, and that I was gonna say, and like I got like 2 bars into it, and then forgot the rest of it, and it just started humming, and just yeah, go. Hey, and Ted was in the front row. Yeah, oh man. And then I was like, and I'm back. And so yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Remember doing push-ups in the back room there before we got on stage.
Oh, just so you can show up. You can show up. Mm-hmm.
So it was like what we had, shorts and what it was. I mean, it was supposed to simulate like the bathing suit, swimwear type of swimwear.
It's answers like I don't remember that.
That part I do not remember putting on the bikini.
That's right. I don't remember being exploited at all. I don't remember exploited at all.
We were in the back room wherever we had to get dressed and get ready, prep room or whatever before everybody got on stage. Everybody was doing push-ups to kind of get their muscles all buffed up when we walked on stage, so we were looking all buff and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know if it was gym wear or swimwear. I don't know what the hell we was doing. But it was something. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I think to me it's just our theme song, man. So
yeah, right.
And it's almost kind of like trying to remember how we met. It's like I can't remember like when it became the theme song, but it's like that's the memory. It's just like it's like cues in Atomic Dog. Like, every time I hear scenario, I just go crazy. I'm like, that's the 127W theme song.
Wow.
Yeah, if I catch it at the gym sometimes, I'll be tired and be like, man, I got another set in me. Come on, I can go. I can go. No, this is a good one. Yeah, I wanted to start out with a couple of questions tonight, man, because I was sitting at dinner with a teammate of mine. We were trying to get ready for some changes happening at work, and I'd mentioned, our project that we're working on, and he says, "Man, that's incredible," And he literally spent probably a half hour back and forth through conversation he kept coming back to. And y'all been friends for how long? Like, that's crazy, right? Because I guess we talked about it early on. It's not as common for people to have long time friendships that feel more like brotherhoods. And so, I was trying to see how we could maybe, start talking a little bit about what that means to us from different aspects. I started with the GOAT conversation because inevitably, we always go back to memories of what made people feel like the GOAT to us, whether it was last night scoring a bunch of points, or was it, in the 80s when the Pistons were beating up on Jordan, he had to fight through them monsters to win a championship, to, a lot of stuff in our timeline has happened. And I guess I wanted to, see if we wanted to at least, talk a little bit about some of those things that probably were impactful, maybe towards the memories we have around being, brothers. So I know music tends to do that. I know for me, I was actually reflecting on the song and realized how much more I played it for a lot of us after graduation, right? So when, Aunt, you dipped out and, discovered how cold it was outside in the Midwest. And, Chip, and I sold you the other half of that big ass TV so you can go out to Cali with something to watch, right? I know I remember with B Hall and Carlisle and Todd, I would probably hear that song and think about, man, it was a special time that I didn't know if it would ever happen again. I think that was my thing is I kind of always think about the song as that could have been it. That could have been like, man, and it was that song. And so the fact that I can keep coming back to that song being present for years and years now, it kind of makes me one happy because I know that that's a song that I attribute to a beginning, right? So it's not as clear as some of the other stuff, like you said, Chip, but it is something that when I hear it, it immediately takes me back to this is probably one of the coolest moments for me personally, and I tend to draw upon that. So when it shows up on the radio, I'll pause for a second, and even Ruth will start rapping with me because she knows I'm gonna sing the whole song, and she doesn't help me out. And I get out of breath after Charlie Brown raps, so I be struggling to the end. So I guess for you all, like, what are some of those moments that maybe hit you all and say, wow, this is kind of what makes me think about us being brothers?
That's a insightful question. I on twofold because it's like an A and B question that you just asked. But the scenario song for me, when I hear it, I just think back to how spontaneous it was when we got together to say, well, we're just gonna go perform this. And it was funny because the song struck each one of us differently, right? Like we all knew we didn't know the whole song fully, but between the collective, we could get through the entire song. Like somebody knew this part, somebody knew that part, somebody knew that part. So if you fast forward to just our years together, um, one of the things I think back to that was very, I guess, significant to me was like Ant's wedding. The fact that it was important to him that all of us be there, and really that was the linchpin to us, making the connection to say we were going to be in each other's wedding. But then we really began to understand that for me, that's when the bonding of the brotherhood started because we were now transferring from in our minds and in our processes from being college students having a good time and dancing and going to Nesby conferences and things like that to now we're seeing one of the brothers that we used to run around with getting married and planning for his future, right? And the best part about that was that he was marrying somebody that we all knew that was in our circle. And so now we were a part of that ride with him. And so to me, it became, okay, well, who's next to get married? And, now we're, like that song Boys to Men, we're going from boys to being men because once you take those vows and we standing in agreement with him, taking a vow with her, and she's taking those vows in front of her family and her girlfriends, it's like, well, we can't fail Ant now, but more importantly, now that he's setting the tone, we have to hold ourselves accountable to be married men as well. And so that's for me when it really started to formalize and crystallize to us being brothers and more than just friends. Because the moment that I stood there and was taking pictures with him and his family, and then we would get together and do our own pictures, and then we would get together do some other pictures. It was like, oh, it became real for me that this is not just we going to take a class together or studying. These pictures are going to last forever because that the vows before God are supposed to be forever.
Oh yeah, this was you deep on the birthday, man. That's pretty good for 92, bro. Pretty good.
I'll second that one because it was Ant's wedding. I was and still am clueless to a lot of things going on back then, and I could think a couple days in advance. That was about it. I see my kids of one of them specifically has adopted some of those traits, and I just tell them every now and then, sorry, man, that was me. You're going to learn how to focus in a couple of years. It's going to come. but that to me woke me up to what we had here was special. And I felt when Aunt invited me to be a part of the wedding, I felt really included. because I was, and I mentioned the part about being clueless because I was. So I just, I thought of you guys as friends, but then when that happened, I'm like, wow, this is kind of a lifelong connection that we're building here, because what Ant's about to do, even though my parents were divorced at the time and I knew that things, could change in life, to me that was okay. This is, he's sticking stake in the ground and saying this is who I want to share this moment with.
Mm.
And
Wow.
so that's how it was for me. So I agree with what you were saying, Carlisle, 100%.
Wow. Ant, did you know you were the architect, brother?
No, I did not. I always thought of Carlisle as the architect. With
Well,
the
he's
whole coming together.
107. He's 107, 108
Right.
today. So.
With the whole Ascension thing, I was like,
Yeah.
so I view Carlisle as the originator. I felt like, you know, I didn't know any better. I just assumed, these are my boys. I'm not going to do something like this without my boys. Then, how do I choose? It's kind of like, okay, how do I choose who's going to stand up versus who's doing so? I was like, look, all my boys got to be in it. I need everybody in a tux. That's just how we're going to do it. And we'll, work it out later. Like, but all these guys got to be in the pictures with their tuxes on. And because I thought that's just how we do. We boys. This is,
Wow.
we're boys, and this is what we do, right? So I mean, I just assume that okay, we make lifelong friends. Well, this is life, right? So so I'm, these, they're gonna participate with me, and
Yeah.
I just assumed that we're, and it might have been a little naive, but it wasn't until probably maybe a few years ago, I'm like, I realized like, what? My dad doesn't really talk to any of his college friends. Not really. He
That's
talks to a
something.
few of them. But it's like I just assumed everybody did this, but I didn't realize later. It's been later that I realized like that's not really true. That that people are in your life for a what they say, a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Season, a lifetime. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
just assumed you guys would be in for the lifetime, and it did. And I just behaved accordingly. I just made the assumption. I didn't realize that it wasn't supposed to be that way.
Mm.
But
Mm. And you hit me with the real math right now, bro.
Yeah.
Chip, where are you on this, man? You
I mean, I could go with the Ant thing because the shit was so shocking that maybe it just had that super shock value. Like, what the hell? This dude is getting married. Like, he's 18 years old. What is he doing?
he's fresh off the farm, 16, fresh off the farm.
Years old.
But I mean, it's like that is been kind of been put out there that it kind of makes sense because like I said, the first kind of real life event, and because like I said, I definitely just remember like, wow, he's getting married. Like, man, this is major. It's major.
And it's what I love about the realization is I think I was going where you were, Ant, where I thought, it was the talk of trying to do business together, trying to create a relationship, that would sustain the test of time through the dream of, hey, we're gonna be together to a point where we're gonna be like making money with each other, the whole nine. But like I said, the graduation pause of 92, you having your wedding so soon after that probably was more of a defining moment than I realized, because that was what I knew for sure. Brothers would make time to come from wherever to be part of what we were doing, and we had to make the commitment then. So anytime somebody was going to step up to the plate, we all needed to be there and play whatever role was necessary, but mostly just being there, right? So you started us on a path that I guess I hadn't really recognized till I listened to these guys here, especially Carlisle. It was a moment to pull everybody back together when we thought it could have split up and moved on our separate ways, right? That's wild, man.
Yeah, because and just to speak what in terms of moving on our separate ways, because there was it wasn't always unicorns and rainbows in 127W.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it was a bunch of brothers living in a it was a nice size house, but small quarters, trying to get into the kitchen, electric bill, taking
Oh yeah.
hours,
Cable bill never got paid.
cable bill. You got the
You know,
Lord,
what's
Long and Foster knocking on our door, like every 2 weeks.
It's like if you think about it, it really kind of set us up for marriage. Because the same fights you have.
we had some practice. We had some practice.
We had a lot of practice. We had practice, man. So to me, that even makes it more impressive that we're still together, man. Because a lot of tension, all that tension and all that, like, all right, why is the kitchen so dirty? Like, who left these chicken bones in the dish what you call that thing?
In the sink? In the sink?
No, but
the dishwasher.
No, the garbage.
Carlisle, you can
Garbage
tell
disposal.
Todd never cleaned up because he didn't know what was it.
Exactly my point.
Where the water comes out and it sits in the bowl, it's the sink.
No, I do know out that kitchen. I microwaved everything.
Todd, I'm laughing myself about you saying everything wasn't always hunky dory, but man, not all of your housemates have made it through the journey. I'm just gonna say y'all did drop a few. So.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, I still get a nice note from Barry Lewis saying, "Why y'all never invite me to stuff?" He's my frat brother now, so I'll be like, "Hey man, hey frat, hey man, it just didn't work out, bro."
We gotta let Barry write the intro.
Right. Forward by Barry Lewis. For the record, they are all a bunch of bastards. If you read past this, you might enjoy the rest of the story.
So I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
we had some good times, we had some not so good times, but obviously the good times outweighed the tension, bad times, or whatever. But else we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Still together. But yeah, man, and then eventually that kind of smoothed over, going on road trips and eventually start. Facebook was good, man, because it kind of allowed us to kind of keep in touch as well, and just kind of reaching out to each other.
Speak for yourself, because I never was on Facebook.
Well, yeah, other than you, I was really talking to everybody. really talking to
you.
everybody.
Well, everybody except Carlisle, right? Carlisle kept his two-way pager longer than most, so he
yes, sir. I worked at Motorola for a reason. Let's go.
Right.
So,
and yeah.
No, this is good. So, I guess play that through, because I guess were there other moments that you guys would think, man, it could have stopped there, but we kept going, right? Any other moments like that?
I think I almost kind of want to, because I'm trying to think about the years, say maybe after Ant's wedding, like how did we? Because Facebook wasn't, like how did we stay in touch?
You're right.
Through the after Ant's wedding and before social media, like, do we remember how did we?
I think Todd was the one who got us together at least 6 months out of the year, getting us playing fantasy football. That was a start. He was like, "Hey man, y'all want to get there?" And we were like, "Nah, we want to play this shit." And it was like, "Oh wait a minute, everybody in? Yeah, I'll play." Kind of like, "Hey, we're gonna do scenario. We're gonna do scenario," because nobody knows the words. What do you think,
I
Ant?
think there's probably like a wedding like every other year or so during the 90s.
Oh, slow down, bro. You set the pace, and we all froze for about at least 3 to 4 years. There was nobody ran right after you, be like, "Yo, man, I'm about to get married." We're like,
Yeah,
"No."
no, I mean, but yeah, I don't remember. Don't I'm not cool, but I'm just saying there was a couple. Todd got married, and Kev got married.
Yep,
Oh,
we
yeah.
One
got
of the
married.
things,
At 90,
you know,
92, and then who was next?
I was 95.
You're 95,
95.
Yep, and then Kevin and I were 97.
and I was 98.
right,
Right.
Okay.
right,
So we
right.
definitely got the 90s were there, but that there was a piece in there before we
I
started
think
having.
I don't think we got together as a large group during that time period, but I know during that time, I mean, I enjoyed and looked forward to trying to hook up with everybody when they're various stages if we could. Like I remember seeing Todd out in Dayton. I didn't make it out to see Chip in LA, but I got to see Byron falling through, on his way to Iowa.
On
So
the way
I
to
mean,
Iowa with the 2 hour
yeah,
heads up. Hey man, I'm coming through town. Can I crash?
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So I mean,
I think
so those
you may have
are
gotten me to Indianapolis one of those years too, because you were like, "Yo, man,
no, that was a lie, man. You know you lying. You didn't show up in Indiana. I never seen this dude in the state of
I went
Indiana.
whatever it was Circle City, man. I came from Circle City. That's when Carlisle hung out, and I learned he was really double O Negro. He broke into the party, and we had to pay all that money. That was when we were coming. We were there for Circle City. Yeah, I wasn't coming to be there long. I didn't need a ride. I was like,
Like
wheels up, wheels
I've
up.
learned that Carlisle can get you in anywhere. And we're
Yeah.
like, hey, we're gonna go to where did we go to see Chubb Rock? We were
Oh wow! It was on the.
Peoria.
It was a. Yeah, Peoria. Yep.
Peoria, Illinois. We were interning in Chicago. He's like, yeah, let's go down and see my boy Chubb. I was like, I don't think Carlisle really know him. I was like, all right, I'll go. I ain't got nothing better to do. Down there, there are no tickets, but he gets us in. He talks his way in. Next thing you know, we hanging out with Chubb Rock in the hotel room. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. I'm like, this shit really happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll never doubt Carlisle again.
Oh wow.
yeah.
So I guess it was, I mean, probably just a combination of emails and phone calls, I would imagine. But
We
yeah,
had and beepers.
Yeah, pages. Yeah. I mean, the thing was for us to transition the time was that we actually look forward to whenever we were passing each other, whether it be internships or whatever,
Yeah.
or just driving to another, if we're going to school, grad school or whatever. If you were in that state or close by in that state, we would take the opportunity to catch up because it
Yeah.
was like, yo, to have an opportunity to talk with somebody that you used to hang out with and used to be, from our scenario days and all the Nesby days to kind of chop it up was priceless for us. So we would take the opportunity to be like, yo, I'm coming through. And the funny part is we ain't never make plans for anything. It just like scenario, it'd be, spontaneous and we hit it off and then we can't wait till the next time we get together or have an opportunity to get together. So it kind of just filled in the gaps for us to be able to do that. Say if I was in Chicago, Myron and I was in Chicago, and then Kev and somebody else was up in Indiana, and then all of a sudden we meet in that Great America at the park. Yo, we going to the amusement park. All right, well, we'll meet you down there because it's only an hour drive, Or we down in Atlanta and Chip might be down there doing something. I'm running down in Atlanta. I'm like, yo, Chip, I'm in town. Well, where we at? What we doing? He'll take me over to the Kroger. My first time ever going to Kroger was with Chip. And we went and got some wings and then, we hanging out. So it's like we actively and unconsciously made those connections when we ever were close by one another to be like, yo, I'm about to go run with my boy real quick. I'll get back at you. And that kind of just how it ballooned and blossomed from there, so that we had those times we would get together until somebody got married when we really all got together.
Wow. Wow. So spontaneous, intentional, connection. Wow. And you guys are breaking it down for a brother, man. This is must-see television here. We're gonna get Barry Lewis to talk about the antithesis of what you just described. You know, I'm gonna see him one of these days, and I'm gonna set him down and be like, "Hey, it's not you, it's us."
There was others other than Barry Lewis, though, right?
Who are we talking about, Todd? Who are we talking about, Todd?
Was it
Tim Horn.
Tim Horn?
What's that dude's name? Stab the Wound.
Stab the Wound. What was his name?
What's his name? James.
James. That's it.
Oh
my goodness, James! Wow.
So and this guy James was as smooth as a suede condom, bro. Lord, you know, you up there talking about, we were like, hey man, we're going out to, kick it with some honeys or whatever, using all euphemisms like, yo, we're gonna try to see what's up, and he comes out with, yeah, man, I'm trying to get out there and stab the wound. I'm like,
bruh, you're killing me.
Stab the wound. He said, stab the wound. And I looked at Todd and I was like, what's up with your man? Because he sounds like a murder mystery episode, bro. Like,
yeah, but
I don't need anybody stopping by the house.
Between them off-color comments, and I don't know whether or not he ever brushed his teeth, because I was like, yo, his breath was atrocious.
This is he lived with us.
Yeah,
for a short time,
like a month or two.
Because Byron, Carlisle's absolutely right. When he started talking, you couldn't tell whether he should put some socks on or get some more mouthwash.
I mean, I've kept in contact, not recently, but a few years after graduation, we saw each other a couple times.
Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't remember that he actually stayed in the crib.
Oh no,
yeah.
The house.
Okay,
he was in the house.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, because he was.
You was in the basement.
He was from Florida. Right? And he had this false tooth. Everybody called him Snaggletooth. I don't know if you knew that, but
well, Snaggletooth and stab the wound.
It was appropriate.
Snaggletooth and stab the wound didn't go well. I'm just saying, bro. Like, this guy can't hang out, man. We gotta keep it moving.
And you know what I just realized? I apologize, Tom. I think there's a connection here because between Barry, him, and what's my other dude name? We just went Tim Horn. They all stayed in the same room.
I think so.
They all stayed in the same room in the house upstairs.
It was haunted. It was a haunted room.
Not only was it haunted, but it was like, I guess for our sake, the penthouse. And so, although the rest of us got together downstairs in the basement because we all had fun down in the basement chilling and doing our thing, those guys who stayed up there never really came down and migrated and hung out. They stayed upstairs, so they were really just disconnected from the rest of us.
Yeah. I was up there. Kev was up there. So that room where they stayed, that was a room I stayed in before y'all moved in, because I was there with John Davis and
Nurse and all those guys, right?
Nurse was in the room that I moved into Clarence's room, which was right above yours, Todd.
Right.
Right. So
Sherrod was there too.
Sherrod was there too, and he stayed in Kev's room, or because Sherrod was there after Kev, right?
After Kev, that was 93, 92, 93. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I didn't know that. Which, look, Brian, it could be a whole nother episode to talk about the different floors.
Oh my
I think each floor probably had its own personality. Because I really don't know what the hell went on up in the top floor.
I had his own floor.
Hey,
so one of these days we'll do.
We got to go through it. I have
though, like like Tim Horn's girlfriend, man,
she didn't really rock with panties all the time.
He sounded like a horn.
Rafan.
Like, oh man, right now is when y'all want to do that. Right now, come on, man, brothers trying. It just.
So I remember we were all down. We were just hanging out. Somebody was like, "Shh." Hear that? Then we didn't have to be quiet for long.
Yeah, man.
All right.
It was definitely another whole level.
I forget
Yeah,
where.
that's the that's funny.
I don't know.
Hmm.
She
Yeah,
was she,
the
was
top
she living?
floors, like that's just a mystery to me on what went on the top floors, because see, we had our own door out the basement.
On door out the basement. Yeah, it was another whole flow. But
Was,
yeah.
was she living in the house? Was she? She was actually living in the house for a little while, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, when Tim disappeared,
She would be there and
she
surprise us.
stayed. She stayed. Yeah, she just bounced downstairs.
And
Right.
when I moved everything to had an internship in Motorola. She came with me, and I drove her to Minneapolis on the way out. So I dropped her off and her stuff.
So you went to Minneapolis and then back to Illinois?
Yeah.
That's a long ass trip, dude.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
come on, man.
You are literally the best dude I know, B Hall.
Yeah. Yo, B Hall, you get an extra drink on me next time we together.
I'm just
man,
saying
you've earned that one. Oh, I'm buying that one on behalf of Tim for you, man.
I'm just
He
saying we're
was
gonna
always
make a statue and it's gonna be B Hall. And it's like this is the dude. He's that dude. That's that dude award right there. Because
hey, Captain Save a Hoe. That's who he was. He saved everybody. All the women, they was like, Byron, could you help? Byron was like, all right, I got you. Like, dude, I'll be like, Brian, what you doing, man? Oh, I gotta go help. Man, come on, man. We ain't got time to be helping that girl over there, man.
I learned some lessons. There was somebody actually. Do you remember Dr. Gardner? He was a physics teacher.
Yeah.
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 He pulled me over one day because he knew this one chick was taking advantage of me. He said, he's like, hey man, hey son, you know she's just using you, right? Ain't trying to get your business.
And that's a
But I see it every day. You take it to the train station every day, don't you? Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. What you getting out of it? Don't answer that.
wow, don't answer it. Don't answer it.
It's like I already know.
Right.
Oh,
Dr. Gardner was the original Q for real. He had no cut card.
No.
Well,
another reason he pulled me over, he knew my family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah,
so.
because he grew up in New Bern, North Carolina. That's where my mother grew up. So he knew my grandma.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. And he told a little bit of my business in physics class one day and then started laughing about it. Didn't finish the story. I was like, dude.
Ixnay on the newborn New Carolina site.
I'm start something new here. I ain't trying to relive that old stuff.
Yeah.
But
wow.
He was a good dude.
Yeah, that's right. God rest his soul. Does anybody know if Dr. Broom is still living and everything? What's happening with him?
He passed away, I thought.
Did he?
I saw. Let's see.
I don't think he passed away.
What was his first name?
I don't remember.
Doctor.
Right. Yeah, because he wouldn't let you call him nothing else now. Taft Broom. There you go. Taft Broom. Yep.
Yeah, we saw. I remember we saw. I don't know who was with us, but we was down like Clark, Atlanta, just down there for homecoming, and he was like right there, just hanging out with everybody else. Like, Dr. Brown, what the hell are you doing down here, man? Like, what you doing?
I'm getting with these the teachers and the professors.
Yeah, man. So
we having study hall.
Yeah, he was one of the coolest.
Oh, he was cool as hell as long as you weren't in his class.
Right.
He taught me. I did statics. I did dynamics with him.
Yeah.
All right. After I did statics, I would refuse to do dynamics with him. Yeah.
We did statics.
No, sir.
Something about. I did better in that class than I did in my double E classes because something about how he taught clicked with me.
Yeah.
And I did, I probably should have been a civil engineer major because it all clicked. Whatever he was doing, it clicked.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you should say that, B Hall, because in high school, I got you know, I was okay at geometry, right? I was okay at geometry, C's and whatnot. And then I got to, Taft, teaching statics and dynamics. Like you said, it just kind of clicked. And then after that, the rest is history. And I was tutoring.
Mhm.
I started tutoring. I got pretty good at that, and then I started tutoring dynamics and statics. Once I got be a junior and senior. Was it Allison? Yeah, tutoring Allison and a bunch of other people. But
Allison was the girl with the used to come by the house. Is that who you?
Brian, this is how you are, right?
Told you the recording stopped.
Oh, so I kind of he's been hacked.
he took a shot.
He's been hacked.
Yeah. I'm back now.
You know we were clowning. You know we were clowning.
I would expect nothing less. I expect nothing less.
Wow, like dungeon.
It actually is better than what I was actually saying. So that was good. So
the animation is classic.
It is. It is.
There's the book cover.
What had happened was, this is crazy. No, this is good. No, you guys are hilarious.
Oh my goodness. And we